A research team has announced great news: the discovery of an incredible network of subway passages and tunnels, built by the Incas, under the city of Cusco, one of the most important cities of Peru and capital of the ancient Inca Empire. For decades, the layout of the so-called Chincana, which in Quechua means labyrinth, has been an enigma, but scientific evidence has finally been found. Archaeologists Jorge Calero and Mildred Fernandez, together with other specialists, have managed to compile enough scientific evidence to publicly announce their discovery on Monday, January 6th, at a press conference at the headquarters of the provincial municipality of Cusco. According to the results of their investigations, the main road of the Chincana, with its curves and inflections, connects the Coricancha, which means enclosure of gold, with Sacsayhuamán in a route of 1,750 meters. The Coricancha, also called Temple of the Sun, was the largest temple of the Inca Empire. Currently, over the temple is built the convent of Santo Domingo, although you can see the remains of the outer walls of Coricancha at the entrance of the convent. In the old Spanish reports, it is mentioned that it had an incredible and fabulous opulence. Its construction was perfect and very luxurious. In the front, it had a beautiful wall uniformly decorated with a continuous strip of pure gold 3 meters from the ground, and an ingenious short thatched roof, supported by a mesh of gold wire. The walls were covered with gold leaf, and the adjacent courtyard was filled with statues of the same mineral. Originally, the city of Cusco was smaller and shaped like a puma, with its head at Sacsayhuamán. However, the set of tunnels of the Chincana not only links Coricancha with Sacsayhuamán, also it has been possible to observe so far 2 more branches: a route that leads to Miamarca, a sector of Sacsayhuamán, and another that goes to the archaeological site Calispuquio. And it is possible that this system of tunnels is much more extensive, since there are ancient legends that affirm it. One of them tells that the Inca priest Aramu took the golden solar disk kept in the temple of Coricancha, in Cuzco, and fled from the Spaniards to a place that was known to be a powerful energy center. He reached the dimensional gate called Eumarca, which means City of the Spirits, or Gate of the Gods. Many locals also know it as the Gate to Hell. When the priest placed the solar disk in its center, the gate opened and he disappeared behind it. On our trip to Peru, which we already talked about in a video, we could see in person that just behind the door on the other side of the mountain are the remains of what appears to be the tunnel that they say connected with Tiwanaku and Cusco, which the Incas used to move. And according to the Incas themselves, this artificial tunnel was already built before being used by them. But if the Incas were not the builders of this tunnel, who made a work of such magnitude? And at what time? Currently, the access to the Aramu Muru tunnel is covered to prevent people from entering in search of valuable objects. Decades ago, researchers obtained the first clues by reading ancient documents. One of them is the Chronicle of an anonymous Jesuit from 1600, which explains how the Church of the Society of Jesus was built in Cusco. It mentions that they avoided interfering with what was known as the Chincana. It says, "A very deep cave that the Inca kings made, which crosses the entire city and has its entrance in the Sacsayhuamán fortress, and goes down from the top to the bottom of the hill and town or parish of San Cristobal, and comes out through what is now Santo Domingo." On the other hand, in the royal commentaries of the Incas of 1609, Garcilaso de la Vega refers to subway streets and avenues that link temples and fortresses. And not only that, he also mentions that others went into the very heart of the Andes. They obtained more information from the journalist and amateur archaeologist Ephraim Squire of the 19th century, who wrote in his chronicles that the entrance of the Chincana was located in a temple in the shape of an H, in the Rodadero, an area of Sacsayhuamán. But it was a key clue, suggested by historian Manuel Chavez Balón, known as the father of Cusco archaeology, that led them to know where the network of tunnels ran. He told them to look under the roads themselves, under the platforms. With all this information, and with the help of a multidisciplinary team of professionals, they began the search. First, they used sound. Every 50 centimeters of the route, they hit the ground with a metal plate using a camber. The intensity of the echo showed them where the tunnel was going, and little by little, they began to trace the route of the Chincana. When they had an approximate idea of the route, they used the joradars to confirm their suspicions. In this way, they were able to determine that, along the entire route, there was a void enclosed by trapezoidal-shaped sidewalls, at a depth of between 1.4 m and 2.5 m. It seems, according to the data collected, that the Chincana was built on the basis of a trench, which was lined with stone walls and roofed with carved beams. Later, the structure was covered to build roads and platforms over it. The findings of these tunnels have only just begun, since the Chincana Archaeological Research Project team is ready to detect more sectors of the network of subway roads. And they plan, between March and April of this year 2025, to carry out an excavation in key points of the Chincana. We will keep an eye on these findings and will inform you of any new developments that will surely surprise everyone.